Alright, so this weekly nightmare is particularly brutal. This is the 5.5 star nightmare. It has, when players summon a unit, set it to 1/1. Then at round end, it deals 2 damage to all the players' units. So if your units are out there and not buffed up or have some other way to survive, essentially everything you play will die that turn. So most things that rely on having a big unit and dropping it, those will be nerfed and then killed. So this ends up making it very difficult for a lot of champions. I'm going to go through the champions that I think will work for this and then demonstrate one of them. So from my perspective, the best champions would be Victor, who I just did a build guide on yesterday. I also think that Swain would be very strong. Did a build guide on him the day before, so I recommend checking out either of those if you have those champions at 6 star or are able to get them to 6 star for this weekly nightmare. But the other champions that I think will work will be Vex and Yuumi. I haven't gone through any guides for these. And then the last champion would be Fiddlesticks. I think he will also be effective for this nightmare. I think today I will end up going through Yuumi, but I'll quickly just go over some of the features of Vex as well, just to say why that should also work. So for Vex, she has the ability that when enemies die outside of combat, she deals 4 damage to the enemy nexus. Her spells and skills deal damage in the form of gloom, and enemies that die outside of combat grant other enemies gloom, so she can end up just by destroying the enemy board with spells. She can deal damage to the enemy nexus and just control things that way. I think it'll, require a lot of patience and control, but it is possible to do it with her. I think this will be a bit riskier and harder than doing it with Yuumi, and I'll go over why Yuumi should be successful. So with Yuumi's constellation, she has here all her enemies have, or all her units have faded, and when you target an ally, it gets additional +1/+1. So effectively, anytime you target an ally, it gets +2/+2, and or at least the first time each turn you target an ally, it gets +2/+2. She starts the game with 2 Poros. Poros are already 1/1s, so really doesn't get nerfed by the weekly nightmare power that is happening, or nightmare effect. The key here, when you target an ally, give it barrier this round. So as long as that barrier is not removed, that end of round damage will get absorbed by the barrier, so they won't end up taking any damage. And we have this critical at round start, all allies grow to the strongest ally stats. So as long as we have one ally that we are growing really large with those faded buffs, and we target some of our allies to give them barrier, those allies will all grow to the strongest ally in the next round, and then we'll be able to survive that end of round damage. So I think that Yuumi will probably be the most consistent here. She also has this followers you acquire in adventures have Warmog's armor, which gives them regeneration. So even with that end of round damage, it's not going to be stacking up on followers we acquire, as long as we, get them essentially through one round to survive. They should be good. So yeah, I'll go ahead and pick up Yuumi here. Let's play her. Or let me talk about real quickly her relics that we have equipped here. So we have the Perfect Hex Core. This will give us essentially a spell, the Hex Core, that we can use to target onto allies, give them barrier, as well as trigger that faded buff. So that'll be very good from that perspective. We have our 1/1 or our 1-cost allies or less have Overwhelm, Quick Attack, and Fury. That's just to get some additional keywords on there. The 1/1 Poros that we start with automatically have these keywords, so that's great. And then we have Scout on her. When you attach Yuumi to something, she does not end up shuffling back into the deck at round end. So you get that Scout on a creature. If you have the relic for... Sorry, if you have the Poro King relic, I actually do not have the Poro King relic, but if you do have it, I think that is also a great relic for her, especially for this adventure. This gives the unit +1/+1 and regeneration, and cost 1 less for each Poro ally in play. I think you could substitute this for Gale Force, and that would just make it so she's a 1-cost on the first turn, and you can attach her to one of those units, and you'll give it that +1/+1 and regeneration. That'll make it better for surviving. I would use this if I had it for this adventure, but since I don't, I will go ahead with the build I have here. So let's jump in. All right. Spells cost 1 less. Could be decent. We do generate a number of 1-cost spells, so with some of the characters that we toss down. So this could actually be helpful for making sure that we can target our units with those, even if we've spent all our mana. So let's go ahead and take that. All right. We want more things to target creatures with. Unfortunately, I think we're only going... Oh no, we should be able to keep both of these alive. So let's target her here. There we go. And then we will target this other one just to get a barrier. We are not going to attack in because we want to survive this round and get these round start buffs going. Our key here is pretty much just surviving the beginning so that we can continue to target units in future rounds as we have more mana to handle it. So let's just do that. We see he got reduced to 1/1. We're saving 2 mana here. Let's see how many things I would like to avoid taking damage, so I am going to toss out another unit here. So we will block the Overwhelm with our strongest unit. Then we are going to give this barrier as well. And we got Lifesteal, so we can afford to take the hit from something else. Let's go ahead and block this here. And then we are just going to give this barrier so it survives to the next round. And we'll take the hit so that we just heal it up with this. There we go. We have our end of round damage. But all of our units grow, so we're looking in a good position. Now I will go ahead and attack in with this. I'm not at risk of this dying. Get our scout attack in. Let's go ahead and attach this to the one that doesn't have any attachments.
Sure is dark, eh?
We'll give her barrier, and then we'll attack in again. We have the quick attack, and let's go ahead and or we can actually hit with this too, and then we just win. This is elusive. So there we go. Alright, round 1. We're at full health. So far, so good. We see this, we just basically want cheap units. These already have regeneration, spell shield is good. Drawing additional cards doesn't really do much for us, but it's not bad, so yeah, let's go ahead and take him. The Manifest actually could be okay because we can get things that target our units. So actually let's take this one just because of the Manifest. Alright, we in general, we're going to take Fiddle because that'll guarantee us that we draw Yuumi at the start. So let's do that. Normally we would want to hard mulligan for Yuumi, making sure that we draw her or, you know, have copies of our other supporting champion in our hand, just to make sure that the level 20 automatic draw would help us draw Yuumi. So let's go ahead and attach her to the elusive so we can attack in with our scout attack without worrying about them blocking. And we will put invulnerability on this guy so he survives the round. Go ahead and just use this prank. Yeah, let's make this more expensive. That could potentially remove all of our units, so we don't want them doing that. What can we do here? If we put out this guy, we can get a spell that costs 3 or less. This, unfortunately, does not give us anything. We can deal 1 to a unit. We can target it. It would be a weird situation where you can, like, target an ally with this to give it temporary invulnerability. I think what we'll do is we'll just block here. We'll let this guy die. And then we will beef up this guy. As long as this guy survives, he will be able to... Actually, let's see one thing. We can maybe get another unit out here. This is a 1-1, but if we target it, it gets the Fated bonus and Barrier. So now it'll take the 2 damage, but it's going to grow to the stats of this thing at the end, so we're okay. Now we will give this another bonus. Attack in. And we will give our other character elusive as well. And now we will attack in with both of these. There we go. This has elusive and lifesteal. Has that auto attack, which can be dangerous if they had any elusive blockers. That would not be great for us. We sort of want cheaper things here if possible. This could be okay because it could get us things that make him cheaper to toss out. So, or just keywords like double attack and scout, which could be good. We're probably going to head here. We might pick up a champion thing, but normally I go for the powers. Keep this. And this. Alright, this is pretty good. This got the spell thing that grows it afterwards, so we'll probably toss that guy out next turn. We'll attach here. We are not going to attack in. We could beef it up, but I think we are, in this case, just going to do this. Pass. Throw. Let's put him out, so when we cast more things here, he grows. We'll just get a low-cost unit. Let's go ahead and attach this to one of the characters, just so that they get invulnerability and we can block with them. And we will sacrifice one of these. We will block here. We will give this invulnerability so it can also block. That way we just take a limited amount of damage. There we go. We now have this lifesteal that we can get out there, so let's do that. We will give it invulnerability. We'll ping this. There we go. Now let's go ahead and attack with her. Alright, doesn't look like they're doing anything else, so we'll toss this out. We will also give that invulnerability, just so it survives to next round. And I think we are pretty safe with this. Actually, we can even attack with this. The round damage won't be enough to kill that. Didn't quite kill them this round. Might have been able to if done things slightly differently, but I think we should be fine here. There we go. We have a pretty massive board plus lifesteal. I don't think we really have anything to worry about. So let's just go ahead and block. And we can attach this to one of our units. And we'll just grow her. There we go. We're gonna win here in a moment anyway. So just go ahead and attack in with everything.
We're gonna find our yodel book.
Beg your pardon?
There we go. This is just a one-cost unit. It also has Deathless, so even if it does die as a blocker, we'll get something back that we can target. Allies have Hollowed, doesn't really do anything for us. We already have this on 1/1s, but we do have like that 2 attack or 2 cost that has double attack, or has 2 random things. It had double attack last time. So this could still be okay when we toss down more expensive. This isn't doing a whole lot for us, but I don't feel like wasting more rerolls, so we'll just go ahead and take it for when we toss down slightly more expensive stuff. I think I'm going to cut this guy. He's granting an ally overwhelm, and he becomes a 1/1, so it's just like a 4 cost nothing for us. So let's cut him. I would potentially cut this, but actually, Yeah, I'm less likely to this guy at least targets something, so it gives it invulnerability. The Pro Storm does absolutely nothing for us, so we'll cut that first. Next time we get a chance to cut, we'll probably cut that that unit. We don't need really expensive units in here, so keep this since it's an attachment. Actually, I probably could have kept the lifesteal character. Might have been worthwhile, but I think we'll be okay either way.
We're off on a new adventure.
Do our standard start here. Just target our units, keep them alive in the first round.
Ah, such pretty poison.
Alright, we are just going to summon things here.
My little dear.
They have fearsome, so we will need to target some of our stuff in order to make it so it can block. I think just the cheapest unit. This guy has augmented life and quick attack, so let's attach this to something so that it gets here.
Look at you, a bite.
Its barrier. Oh, this is stunned. I can't block with that. This has Fury, so if it blocks 2, it'll be healthy enough to survive. We can block here. We can give this guy barrier. And we can block here. We will take some damage, but we will. Okay.
So young.
All right. Since we have that cost reduction, we will be able to target her and make sure she survives the round.
A pretty present you'll make.
There we go.
Let me change into something.
We haven't been able to repeatedly target any units, so we weren't particularly as large as we would like to be yet, but I think we will be alright here. We're not going to toss out any other new units. We can use this to pull you in. We don't have anything else we can be sure of that will get through without potentially getting hit. Actually, if we mini-morph this, now everything has quick attack, and these all have lower health, so there we go. Yeah, I should have kept that lifesteal, but because we're up against Elise here, we should heal to full at the end of the round, so it's really not too bad. Let's go ahead and put him out. Barrier there, so he survives. We'll take our 2 damage, that's fine. Everything else is large enough to be concerned. There we go. And now we win on our scout attack.
We're gonna find our yordle book.
Excellent. This, let's see. Is there anything bad we could end up getting with the 2 epic items? I don't think so. The only things that would give us no benefit are like the mana refresh on character drop. This is more consistent, but we could get like double attack. We already have scout. I think I'm just going to take the -1 cost, actually. There are a lot of good things that could come from that other one, but Evolve is actually pretty good for us. It's going to be weird. Like, it'll be good for the initial units we drop. The ones we drop later, I think the Evolve will trigger, and then they will get their stats reduced to 1/1. So it won't be great for them, but at least for the initial characters that we have out there that start out as 1/1s, once we attach Yuumi, they will grow by an additional 2 stats. So we should be pretty good there. Let's just go to the champion thing, see if we can beef up Yuumi some more. The higher stats we have with her will translate to everybody else. So ideally, we just want to get like a phage or something like that on her. This is great. We have cost reduction on this guy, and he has the spell growing, so we want that. We'll keep this just as a elusive attachment. They already have Evolve triggered here, so that's great. Let's put this guy out. And we will attach Yuumi. Where do we want to attach her? Like, you can see she also, in hand, she gets the Evolve bonuses, so we actually get to double up on that. When we attach her, she'll now give +4/+3 to something. So we can just attach her here. So now that's a very large unit. They're removing the barrier, but we don't really care about that. That's fine. Go ahead and attack in with her scout attack. And we can even attack in with everything. They will probably block here, but then we will just do this. There we go. Toss this guy out. See what we get. Sure, we can create Poros in our hand. That's fine. We'll attach him here. And beef this up further. Nice, we got lifesteal. Always like that. Let's just go ahead and attack him.
Turn the page, book.
This guy out. We will actually just attach this to him. We'll go get another keyword on this. And I think we should be plenty good. There we go. So yeah, Yuumi having a pretty easy time with this adventure, even though most champions would struggle with it. I definitely recommend using this on her. We'll just add extra copies of this to our deck, help guarantee that we're able to get lifesteal. So phage on her, Deathless would also be good, but our creatures hopefully shouldn't be dying, so just having more raw stats on her is really good. Both players get a mana gem. It's not too bad. Lets us do more on turn 1. Not overly concerned about getting too much. Let's get another character. This will be a little bit harder to target 3 things and make sure they survive on turn 1. Oh, we'll do that. we still get yet another character. This time a 2 cost. Sure, we'll keep the extra copy of Yuumi just because that does give us another spell that we can target things with. We're already triggering that evolve on turn 1, so everything is healthy enough. That's good. Let's see. He just has a give your supported allies stuff, so let's actually. He doesn't have the Fury.
We're off on a new adventure.
I think everything else is good here. We will attack in. And now we can convert it like this. That is not enough to kill him. Is that enough? No. We don't have any way of dealing enough to kill him. But he's now at 1 health. We can ping him with this next turn if we need to. I don't like their elusives here. Let's go ahead and attach this so we can deal with elusives better. And then we will target here and here. Just target this as an extra. There we go. Alright, we'll toss this out and we'll use this on it if they block. They did not. So now we can just attach this guy on here. Great. Let's use our scout attack.
Turn the page, book.
Alright. And now it really doesn't matter what we do from here. Just pull this in. Give this another keyword bonus. There we go. Sure, drawing spells that are cost you less, and we potentially can get quick attack and such with that. So, well, we can have even more units, I guess. As long as they get that evolve at the start, that means they'll survive round 1. So, that should be fine. Let's go ahead and cut this guy.
Time to make an impact.
Yeah, getting that evolve, really nice for us for that turn 1. Seems like we're getting enough keywords off the start regardless. These have double attack, that's nice. This also gives us something we can target units with, so. There we go, everything evolved. Let's go ahead and who is the best for us to target here? You have the spell growing. That is good. This will probably grow the fastest, so let's just go ahead and attach her here. That way, at the round start, she will be giving everything. Okay, they're stunning her, so we can toss this out, and then just give her invulnerability. We'll attack in with everything, grab this, and then whichever one he blocks here, we'll just target that to give it invulnerability. And it can push a little bit of damage through. There we go. We have a pretty large board after turn 1. Not too shabby here. Go ahead and just target this. We'll save this if we need it at some point, but Beyond that, I think, let's just see if we can get, another attachment here. We'll attach you to our strongest, which is one of you, I guess. There we go. Have even bigger stats for next turn. I think we just win if we attack in with everything, right? Yeah, there's no way they can defend with enough damage unless they have, like, something to stun half our board here. Oh, they actually... Oh, they survived. Wow. Okay. Guess I should have used my scout attack. I didn't think that they would be able to survive that, but alright. Prove me wrong. Oh. Probably should have, this is going to die, unfortunately. I didn't realize I didn't have anything in hand to target it to keep it alive. Well. Goodbye, my life steal. Let's then target you so you stay alive. Alright, let's use our scout attack this time. And now we'll attack in with everything.
Let's find a new best friend.
There we go. Alright, pretty easy with Yuumi. So if you have her at 6-star, highly recommend using her for this weekly nightmare. And this is just a general showcase of how she works. So hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next time.